Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to another Let's Play of EU4 with RedBstrd. And we're going to be continuing our game as Brabant. So where we last left Brabant, we had low legitimacy and very high aggressive expansion, but otherwise our country was doing pretty well. We've got a little bit of money still trickling in with +3 +1 advisors, which isn't always possible early in the game. It's encouraged. So it looks like yeah, we really don't have too much getting us money except for this lingering effect that gives us +10%. Taxes temporarily, but taxes shouldn't be too substantial. Oh, looks like we are making actually more from taxes than trade, and that's kind of surprising. But that adds about 0.7 ducats. Yeah, we'd only be able to support 2 guys without that. So we wouldn't be able to pay maintenance in all of our forts and everything, but still our economy is doing pretty good. And our tech is looking pretty good as well. We've got low military skill. But we can work with that. I just have to try saving these points up. And we do need to get into a war before too long here. We've got close to our full manpower. And what's really going to be the main limiting factor on our growth is that aggressive expansion. We burned off 2/3 of it already, and now we're just facing about 15 to 16 with most nations in the German part of the HRE. In Italy, there shouldn't really be any. Yeah, so we have some in Switzerland, but most of it's limited to the German part of the HRE. Of course, there's enough in the German part of the HRE that we really don't win a coalition there. And what would be best is if we could snipe off our rival to Dutch provinces. But for the moment, that doesn't seem possible because of their alliance systems and those trade leagues. We're going to leave this guy here until the start of the new year. Austria's made lots of threats to break our alliance. We're just waiting for that trust to tick back up a little bit. The only one of our allies that is super committed to the idea of retaining the alliance is Denmark. As when Sweden had pushed for their independence, we backed Denmark and even engaged the Scottish in some naval battles and earned some favors with Denmark. So Brittany has completely been taken out by Provence. And if we had been able to take Luxembourg, then we could attack Barrois. But that didn't work out that way. Okay, so we could get this up, but I think we want to rush to get our state propaganda, get aggressive expansion reduced by 20%. That's just the new aggressive expansion that we get subsequently. It doesn't affect any of the aggressive expansion we've earned. So we still do need to shed this aggressive expansion. But that's fine. That'll tick down slowly, and we do have a better relations over time guy. So this stuff will all disappear in within 5 years. So we just need to find a valid target. So Munster would be a good one normally, but they're out to Cologne, our only significant ally here in the region. Ick. Let's see if we could reduce our costs quite a bit. I'm going to have to go with the second option. I want to take that stability hit. We'll see how quickly we can pay off that loan. At the same time, we are allowed another unit of troops, so we're going to delay paying off loan to get that one. But otherwise commit to the idea. We're getting 5 ducats a month if we don't pay our troops full wages. Just bring that down a tad more. Okay, Aachen would be a great target, except for they're a free city. So if we attack them, Austria would come to their defense. Okay, so our clergy only has 30 influence. We could send an emissary to the Pope if they had a bit more influence. If we get them up to 40, this could increase it to 50. And our legitimacy is in the yellow rather than in the red. It's a little bit of progress. And we only have 2 embargoes going. Let's see what's going on with the third one. We don't have a third rival. So sadly, that means that our power projection is going to degrade a little bit over time. And we can repay our loans now. That's great news. And let's top off relations with our ally, Cologne. Yeah, there's not a lot of great opportunities. We can't push to Cologne because they're our ally. Can't push either of these directions because their allies can't get through their free city. Can't fight through Munster and can't attack these. So we're just waiting for some opportunities to present themselves. I'm going to start paying our troops more. We are facing a chance of rebels here in Lille. They will just start randomly improving relations with other countries in the area, just to keep them out of coalitions if we do get a chance to attack something. So we're going to start paying for these forts along our border, just to maximize our security issue. Love to see an independent East Frisia here. Even though we wouldn't be able to attack them immediately, we have no way to fabricate. And they'd probably be promptly invited into a trade league. Oh, Comet, Devil's Kithenkin. That's unfortunate. I liked being able to rely on our high stability to keep down the corruption, deal with rebels, and give us a little more tax income and so on. It looks like there are lots of fights going on around us, so hopefully something will happen that gives us an opportunity to make some advances. If Austria starts getting overwhelmed in any wars, it might be able to attack this free city. Aggressive expansion impact reduced by 20%. That's great news. I'm going to start paying for our fort on our capital. Let's pull this guy back. Obviously we don't have a CB here. I just want to see how likely Austria is to join. Quite likely. And we even have a truce with Aachen. But it wouldn't hurt to get a claim there. And it wouldn't hurt to get a claim on Utrecht either. So we're going to pull this guy back and try to get... Actually, it might be better to go for Friesland. We'll get claims on all three of those one province minor neighbors. And we'll grab one against Munster as well. Maybe two. Just in case we get called into a war on Cologne's side, we could always attack Munster if they're neutral in that war. France is moving around a lot of troops, and they were. So I'm wondering if they're going to get aspirations of conquest on Castile. Yeah, I think there was just people moving through France. Okay, now that we're falling behind on tech, we're definitely going to get these tech levels up before we do anything like work on our diplomatic ideas. We don't want to fall behind on naval morale. Army reformer died, so we're going to replace him. Drop this down just a little so that we're making money still. And we can make our claim here on Aachen. I'm going to start a claim up on Utrecht. Yeah, this next diplomatic idea is, or influence idea, is really good for us. But I think we gotta hold out. Stick to the plan. Fabricated claim here. Start building against Munster. Okay, we're going to get the prestige here because it helps us tick down our aggressive expansion a little more quickly. And speaking of that, we're almost done with all that aggressive expansion. Sadly, we won't be able to attack Aachen and count on Austrian neutrality, as we do have this truce. It's going to last another 5 years. So it's very, very unlikely that Austria will remain in this war for another 5 years. And we could take out either one of these by themselves when they have allies and the Trade League. That definitely makes things a little more difficult. Venice is far away, and we've seen that we can really wreck any Italians try to land up here. We could just get overwhelmed by the sheer number. Might be making enough money now. Not quite. As this autonomy continues to tick down. Oh, it looks like our autonomy is floored out in all of the provinces. I'm just going to go around and see what would happen if we were to declare war on each of our neighbors. So this one, again, we can't because of the truce. And Austria would be pretty likely to help them. Push for here, but sadly Denmark wouldn't join our war. Denmark would be able to keep some of these other nations up here a little busy, so that's not a bad idea to wait for them to be at peace. And we can get Cologne in our wars. That just seems like they would get too much help. So I really want to wait until Venice is caught up in a war. If they have to fight the Ottomans or something, or Austria. Man, Hungary got wrecked. Clearly by Poland, and possibly by that same alliance system we're looking at, because they have truces with Venice. They probably got jumped by everyone. Wallachia took a bunch of territory. Somebody forced them to release Croatia. So I don't know what happened there. For Cleves. 1 second. Okay, just checking the video. 18 minutes in. Okay, things are going well. And we can get this military tech up, so we're going to do that. So 8 years ahead of schedule. And let's top off relations with our allies. Friesen would make a really good target. I really want to hit them and annex them. Okay, those 80 ducats. Man. So let's drop this fort maintenance and our troop maintenance back down. practically nothing. And try to pay off these loans again. So Austria's in yet another war. So maybe we'll be able to take advantage of that and attack Aachen soon. So we can seek their support, get some admin points, and tech up. Now we're 8 years ahead of time in all of these. It would be nice to get a military idea. If we're going with influence, we might as well go for administrative here. At least get to the second idea, adaptability. Okay, Munster will like us less. And Austria was re-elected. Let's top off these relations. And keep an eye on what Denmark is doing. Should have Austria automatically since they're the emperor. Need 76 ducats. He's still 2 years away from being able to declare an Aachen. Oh, we're going to fabricate this claim on Meppen. And top off our relations here. We no longer need any claims in Munster. So I'm just going to try keeping a gauge. Yeah, Austria would still protect them. Let's top off relations with the Pope while we're still Catholic. I don't know if we're going to stay Catholic. I remember back in the days when you got Casus Belli and whoever was the crusade target, you could simply declare war on them, even if you never had any intention of fighting with them, and just collect the crusade bonuses. So you get morale, national manpower. After 5 years of no fighting going on, there would be the automatic white peace. Okay, that's great. Lowers our corruption, but we have no autonomy, no corruption, so it's not all that essential. We're going to get 10 more papal influence just because we can. We get some money here just because we can. Let's see if we can get everything back to full maintenance. Just going to improve relations with various Germanic neighbors. Okay, so Cologne is getting involved in a war here. That might afford us with some opportunities. Let's see how they would feel about invasion. I think Cologne would still come to their assistance, but not by a huge margin. Could afford to get a little bit more income since that margin is so small. I prefer to save a little bit of cash, particularly when we're planning wars. This would just drop our army maintenance for a few months. Grab a little bit of a war chest. Definitely would like some more cash sitting around. But in the long run, this was the right move to make. So Austria's still bogged down in one of those wars, but I think they would protect the Free City. And we'll double check that idea. Wow, they finished that war really quickly. That piece is done, so let's just see what would happen if we were to declare on them. I think Austria would still come in. Yep, definitely. Denmark, we have 24 favors, so we're going to increase trust. Let's see if that would help bring them into a war. Okay, so we could potentially attack here. Denmark's financial problems are keeping them out. And that's just way too many people for us in Cologne to manage. We'll wipe out 12,000 of those right away. But they still have a lot. Okay, so there's another fight. Cologne suffered some losses, but I think they'd still be willing to defend their ally. Yeah. If they suffered too many more losses, a lot of attrition or something, we could potentially attack. We'd have to deal with Saxony. So let's see what Saxony's bringing to the table. 10,000 troops. Improve relations with Verdun here. And just keep our finger on the pulse of this war. $15 reasons. So let's get this increased diplomatic reputation. That should make it much easier for us to bring people like Denmark into our wars. Okay, so what if we attack them? Denmark still wouldn't come in. Denmark would come into this war. What about this one? Do you guys come in now? No. Because they're friendly towards Friesland. So I think we could take them. I just don't want to lose this alliance with Cologne. I'm going to lose some more cash here. So let's drop this down and see if we can hold out for a few months. Okay, that's great to see the armies of Cologne and Saxony getting beat up a little. Might afford us some opportunities. If nothing. Okay, so Cologne wouldn't defend them. Saxony still would. I just don't know what they're going to be left with at the end of this war. See if Saxony can get stack wiped or something over here. If that's the case, I'll declare this war. Yeah, so no one would protect them. And how much of an army do they have? None. Okay, well it doesn't do anything for us to declare it. Unless, of course, they get vassalized or something. But we'll just loot their country. And let's top off relations with our allies again. They're not big fans of us. Now, what do you do? There's no loot in either of these provinces, so we're just going to pull our troops back to Gelra and wait till we see some loot. If there's any rebels pop up, they might liberate this province, which is our war goal. And then we could just move our troops back onto it. I doubt anyone would be bold enough to take all three of these provinces, and if they do, Austria might demand some of it back, unless it is Cleves. I guess I could split this up. Cleves could take this back without much of a problem, because it's their core. Cologne is getting wrecked here. Okay, we're going to get our first admin idea. That gives us some more trade power. That's nice. Our budget has been stretched pretty thin. So anything that bumps up our income would help. And there's a little bit of loot starting to form here again. Why don't we get some stability? Because we can always get more money. We can loot these provinces for money, for instance. And we don't want any increase in unrest, so we'll just ignore that. Just improve relations with anyone that's around that might get upset by us taking some territory in this war. And Venice got excommunicated. Hopefully that's going to mark start of some wars. Venice has to defend itself, and then we'll attack. I think Friesland, yeah, Friesland is in their trade. Okay, it looks like everything's pretty much fully occupied except for Dresden. So hopefully we'll see a peace here and have an opportunity to start taking some stuff. And we're going to move over here slowly and start looting. Burghers want Breda. It does give them a lot of influence in the country. They gave it some base tax or something. I think base tax. So we can just yank it from them later. And this is just money in our treasury. Okay, so looks like this might be the end. Then let's see if they take this. If they do, they'll be forced out of that trade league. Which is great news for us. Austria might force them to return it. But while they're not in a trade league any longer, only allied to Verdun and Mecklenburg, we could attack them. So Mecklenburg could send them 7,000 troops. Verdun might be able to put more in the field, 8,000. So that's 15,000 troops if we stack wipe them here. Do we dare? Because both of them are going to be able to move over pretty quick. Well, let's see what happens with... Heck, we don't want this guy to die. We're going to have to pay the money, watch him die anyway. So Munster might be fun to vassalize, because then we could feed him back these two provinces. Basically no aggressive expansion. I think that's what we're going to try to do in this war. That's not what our CB is, so this could generate more aggressive expansion than we want to deal with. But I think we'll be okay, because we should still have now. Our modifier expired. Okay, I want to hurry this up before they get into a trade. Okay, that gives us an extra slot, and we could use that for them as a vassal. So we're just going to chain wars together here. Okay, so first of all, we want them as a vassal. It's only 7 aggressive expansion, which isn't bad at all. We're going to let them keep their claims and cores on everyone. And it didn't give us enough cash to pay off our loans. I'm going to wait for the first of the month. And then attack here. We're going to call them France. We're going to do it. Might seem like a waste of those favors. But if it gets us more powerful, then we'll accumulate favors at a faster rate with France anyway, so it's an investment. We'll let France deal with Verdun. We could take we could force East Frisia free from them. I think we'll try to break up their territory a bit and then snipe off those countries when our truces with them expire. Just to control aggressive expansion a little. We're lesser generals, so we're going to pull this guy out and get him a new general. Actually, we're going to cancel that because we got this really bad heir, 131. I think he wants to lead an army. We should repair this fleet. Okay, we can pay off this loan. We're still making some money from looting and blockading. And we'll get even more in the peace deal. Okay, these ships are going back into port. We'll just pull them to Gelra. And these guys are going into repair. Still loot to be had here. Get some prestige and army tradition. So Mecklenburg is getting beat up. We're just going to take their money, isolate them. We can call Denmark in, that's nice. Not that we're going to in this war, but it's nice that Denmark is in the shape that they would join us in an offensive war. Okay. I think that's about where we want it. So let's... We don't make peace offerings, we make peace offerings. And let's get them unallied with Verdun. We'll let them keep the rest of these, there won't be a freeze when we're done here, so that's fine. Okay, again, we want all their money, and we want all of those countries free. We want them using up a slot with Denmark. I don't think we do. So we're going to push for these cores back. And then we're going to sign this peace, so that no one can, and the Empire can demand this back from us, the Emperor can't. And we could call Denmark into this war. For now, I think we've got it under control, so we're just going to deal with our enemies. And if anything goes badly, then we could always ask Denmark to intervene on our behalf. So let's stop Aachen from being able to make any troops. So just leave 50 guys behind here. And 1,000 there. 3 there. And we can't seem to get them over to Brunswick. They don't have any army, so that's fine. So we'll just dismiss that. We could make a manpower building, but I think we'll wait until after this war. We've just got so little money left over after that I'm not sure that that's the best idea. Let's top off relations with France and with our new vassal. Istria would not become our vassal, sadly. And Cologne is attacking Aachen. Which is a really dumb move on their part, because Austria will protect them. We have 5,000 more men. You know what? We are going to make a manpower building. I'd like to make the second one, but that's going to have to wait. Sadly, we wanted to keep that guy. Because we're definitely not sending any peace until we have this cord. So while we're at war, the Emperor cannot demand Friesland back from us. So I don't know what we're going to do with Aachen here. It would be nice just to annex them, but that's way too much aggressive expansion. But we can humiliate them their arrival. That's a great idea. And Cleves for their arrival, no. But we can take these once this is cored. So now we have over 50 power projection. Utrecht is no longer being protected by anyone, so I think that's our move. We're going for this, yeah. We need a second building now that we have some cash reserves. Okay, captured a ship from them. Let's get this fleet back into repair. Yeah, so this is nice. We don't have a full blockade going on. Okay, I'm gonna have to deal with those guys. So let's leave behind these three just to manage the siege. And we can't quite get back. I'm not sure why they have access and we don't. We can't really worry about that. Get another manpower building in here. Okay, I think we might need a few more ships on this blockade. So let's pull 3 ships from here and send them over and see if that's enough. That'll tick up in a month or so. And this will tick up in a few months, so it's worth it to get that manpower. The reason why we're keeping this war going, even after we've occupied everything we want, is so that we can take this province and court without having Austria demand it back from us. Probably won't when we're allied like this, but I don't want to take any chances. Gotta see if we can stack wipe them. Okay, we're going to need 3 troops here, so we're going to leave a few spare and get everyone else back to doing what they're supposed to be doing. Okay, this might as well get this idea. I'm going to leave that there until the end of the year and top off relations with Denmark. Increase our force limit, but we're not going to buy any new troops. And one of the reasons why we're back. One of the reasons why we're trying to beat up Hanover is we want a longer truce with them, because we should get a respectable amount of aggressive expansion here. So for relations with Austria, 166 if we take this. Wow, yeah, coalition city. So we're going to wait till the end of the year. Okay, Hanover, we are going to peace out. We just want their money, their war reparations. I'll get them over here to loot. I'm sure we can get these guys over here to loot too. And we really should be improving relations with everyone around us that could potentially join a coalition. So we're going to do that. And get a new idea here to core more cheaply, increase our diplomatic reputation. That's great. And the New Year has come, so once we get one of these diplomats back, we're going to see what would happen if we annex Utrecht. Okay, so if we took them, there still would be a coalition, so we're going to have to wait until the end of the year. '27 aggressive expansion towards some of these countries like Magdeburg, and I'm sure Frankfurt and Bavaria and so on. Yeah, it should be 27 across the board. Okay, one more month and then we'll move them up here to suppress rebels. I still need more men. So let's get a manpower building here. We do want one in Gelra as well. Let's just wait for the first of the year and see what our aggressive expansion from annexing Utrecht would be like. I really want a better relations over time guy, but they don't have any. And if we fired this guy, we wouldn't get a replacement until the new year. Okay, let's check on Utrecht. Okay, not a very big coalition. Just 3 countries, and I think they would get over it. Can't afford this fort, it's not protecting anything. And we've got these ones. So let's start coring this. So we do want to try keeping some of these countries. They got 50 aggressive expansions. We're going to set them as friendly. Those 3 are the ones we have to worry about for the moment. But if we get them above 50 relations with us, they won't join a coalition anyway. We can get another ship, so I am going to make another trade ship. At some point we're going to want some big ships to be able to win some naval battles, but it's just not a good use of our money at the moment. Now this won't get us much aggressive expansion. If we do want to get this chord, Austria shouldn't request it back as long as we have over, I believe it's over 125 relations, or possibly over 100, and you're allied to them at present. It used to be 150, but I've seen it slip beneath that and them not demand it back. So we got 12 favors, 2 favors, and 21. So let's get this trust up a little. We're not going to be calling them into 2 wars in a row anytime soon, due to our aggressive expansion to offense force anyway. Okay, Austria's beating up on Venice, and we're not particularly interested in Venice any longer. We would love to vassalize them. Our relations are going to be friendly with them. Okay, we have a call for peace. I'm wondering what it would look like if we did try to send off this peace deal. At those 2 provinces, 2.5. Yeah, we really have to wait. Until the end of the year. So we've made these people that were outraged with us now like us again. So that's good. Okay, we can put that center trade, no great candidates. Let's get an income building up here in Friesland. And Utrecht is cord. So we can make the Netherlands into a state. We'll do that. We want that war exhaustion to go down, but we are lagging behind in Diplotex. We're not going to do that quite yet. Yes, the call for peace is definitely giving us more. But I'd rather deal with some war exhaustion that's going to tick down anyway, rather than a coalition. But we've gotten a lot accomplished here. We started with 4 provinces and we were a subject. Now we have gotten our independence and we've expanded by 5 more, so we've more than doubled our territory. We've got 3 substantial allies. We have a vassal that's 2 provinces and it's going to pick up another 2. A pretty good prestige. We got 1 complete idea group done. Strengthens our diplomatic position and reduces our aggressive expansion. Good, Philippe died. We had the weaker of those 2 heirs that showed popping up. Magdeburg, sure. Just gonna wait for the first of the year. Often they'll send off peace deals right around Christmas time, so that there's only a few days before the year ticks up. In this case, there's no advantage for doing that. Okay, let's see if we can avoid that coalition. Now only Saxe-Lauenburg would join, and I think we could deal with that through normal diplomatic channels. Set them as friendly, and just improve those relations. Get too few rivals. We could get Austria, Cologne, or France, none of which we really want. Cologne is voting for us. Our poor war exhaustion. But fortunately, we have time for that to tick down. Okay, so who are we going to alienate here? Can piss off the burghers. Actually, probably should have done that the other way around. what if we were to give the burghers this? Increases their loyalty 13%. Yes, they'll be really happy with that. And now they're loyal. This province I would like to take from the burghers, but it would drop their loyalty down to 23%. And the only way that would make sense is if we gave them this instead. Yeah, let's actually do that. Now this would drop it so low that they would revolt. So let's give them this. So they're still unhappy with us, but I don't think they'll remain so for too long. We're just trying to juggle the autonomies. This is autonomy 0, and this didn't get lowered at all. Okay, we can get now 4 more trade ships. Let's do 3 trade ships and another transport in case we need it. It's really our only barrier to becoming the Netherlands is Austria. Okay, so truces are going to last for another 8 years up here. Which is unfortunate. Okay, Cologne is attacking Verdun. They won't call us into that, because we already have a truce with Verdun. Improve relations with Munster. And try to integrate them into our country. Just going to dismiss this alert. Okay. So get this fleet back together. Actually, let's leave it just with these ships because they're faster, and let's see if we can attack a couple of Scottish ships. No. Now let's get down here. Wait for them to split up. Okay, 8 pretender rebels. Let's get a general. Definitely going to put a ring on that. We could get an admiral, and I think it makes sense to do that. Okay, I don't know where their fleet went, but we're going to go looking for it. Since Denmark's fleet is helping us out, our troops are in place, we're going to allow those rebels to pop. Damn it, they snuck past us. Okay, so we're going to break off these ships and just send them to attack. Sunk a big ship, that's really nice. And let's get them back in port to repair. Let's top off relations with France here. So those relations suffered a little bit. Sadly, our theologian died. So that means that we will have some rebels. Utrechtians, so we're going to get to Utrecht. Okay, we sunk another big ship. So we're going to once again pull back to repair. Not taking any chances with our fleet here. Including this ship. We'll move these 4 guys up there. So we can keep a better eye on them. Okay, we're now looking for some more ships to fight. They don't really want to hit their whole fleet at once, but it looks like that still worked out for us. So let's get back into port to repair. Okay. And what can we spend our money on? Well, we can get 0.15 ducats a month more out of here. And we could get some more income out of these. So let's just invest in our buildings. They will pay for themselves over time. Speaking of that, we're way ahead of time on military tech, I think. Yeah. So we're going to make a little bit more money here. It looks like Denmark is handling Sweden just fine. We should be getting pretty good war participation for our size for engaging in all of these little battles. I'm sure we'll pay for this ahead of time. The big danger is if our rebels pop up immediately. I think we'll be okay. Let's go around looking for their fleet. We found it. And sunk a couple more ships. So we'll repair and get right back out there. Fleet looks to be out on the sea, so we're going to chase them around. And we've got 8% war participation, which is great. Yeah, if I see him pop out, we'll try to hit him. We'll top off relations with Austria here. And let's just see how much aggressive expansion. Still 40, so we have had 10 fade away. There used to be a bug with the AI's reasoning that if you were blockading a port like this, you could start to leave, and they would leave the port most of the time. It's so much fun to exploit. Okay, so Frisians, we're going to get up to Friesland. We're starting to suffer attrition, so let's get these guys back into port. Heck, I don't like either of those options. Okay, we can't keep pissing off our burghers, so let's just lose legitimacy. And we'll just get some more legitimacy from the papacy. Okay, they did pull out here, so let's chase after them. And we sunk 5 ships. So let's repair these guys. So 5 years we can attack East Frisia. But they would become our vassal, and that is an even better option. Because that won't cost us any aggressive expansion. And we're over our limit by 1, but that's hardly a concern when we're ahead of time. On Depot Tech. And we're not working on any ideas here. Okay, we'll let them come out of port. Improve relations with Denmark here. And with our ally Cologne. Just going to keep an eye out for these Scottish ships. If they leave port again, then we'll try to chase them down. I think I do want to catch up here. We want more states. Okay, so we can help wreck that fleet. We caught transport doing it. Let's see, what is that? Yeah, it doesn't give us anything we really need. And that's going to tick back up in about a month. Some military support. Not sure that they really have any navies left. Bet those are all Swedish. Yeah, 11. 164, that's the 11 right there. Ships are making a good show of it, but they're going to lose. Huh, we're technically losing this war right now. We could send our troops over here to help out. We've got 90% chance of rebels, 90% organization of this rebel faction, so we're not going to do that. Nope. 100. Let's top these guys off. Okay, Oldenburg. Would you guys become our vassals? No. And you don't have any allies that are really capable of protecting you, so we're going to start fabricating a claim on them. Because that truce is going to expire in 4 years. I'm going to leave this one there until the end of the year. They do like us, but we can send them an insult to fix that right away. Now what we really want to do to expand in the empire is find somebody who we could vassalize that needs cores restored to them. So like Oldenburg, they don't have any cores. It's got claims. Somebody like Trier, we could take this back for very little aggressive expansion, and the Emperor wouldn't demand it. So Brandenburg would be great. For the moment, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of Val targets. And if we're big enough to take on Poland, we could do that with Pomerania. Nick. Wait, did we become the papal controller? Why did we do that? Sure. Get some development. So we could do this if we wanted to pass something else, but I don't think there's any decisions we can do here. We could get a little bit more papal influence. But it's not with the 5 legitimacy. Yeah, Sweden got their capital back. They got this fort. And looks like Denmark's wrapped up in some other war. Wait, we have Dalaskogen? That's weird. Oh, fortunately, if these rebels do pop right here, we've got a bunch of people camped out in our territory. Okay, we're going to pull these guys back. Oh, we could ask for money here. Sure, in a month they're going to have 50. Wait, how did that not tick up? Well, next month then. And we're going to build this. So let's approve relations with Munster again. England. England. That's good for us. It solidifies our relations with France. And England took some territory here. which I don't think was the smartest move for them to do. I know that we're suffering attrition here. That's fine, we got plenty of manpower. If these guys pop, we'll just crush them. Okay, so we can get a claim here on Oldenburg. We're going to do it and pull back this diplomat. Bremen is in a trade league and well allied. So I think we're actually going to even improve relations with them to keep them out of coalition if we go for Oldenburg. Okay. So Denmark had to give money to Sweden, so we didn't get any favors because we technically lost that war. But that's fine. I feel that we won it. Okay, rival of our rival. Not sure if we can make them vote for us. So let's go for the rival of our rival. Pull this guy back. Crazy that we qualify as a rival of England. Aachen would make a great conquest if they lose this free city status. One second. Sorry, all this talking is drying my throat out. Just had to cough there. Just got to check some things running in the background here, make sure everything's going nicely for us. Okay, no complaints. Things are seemingly going well. Okay, so at the end of this month, we're going to pull this guy back. And see if we can send them a gift. Because that will afford us the opportunity to annex them. It's going to hurt our relations with members of the HRE temporarily. It isn't good when we've got that much aggressive expansion, but it'll be okay. I mean, that'll be really hard to get Cologne's vote, but I think Cologne's going to be really pissed at Austria. Yeah, because they took this territory, and I think, yeah, Austria demanded it back. They refused. Okay, now there is a state that we could possibly punch out of people. Brunswick. We could feed them those 3 provinces at the bare minimum. Sadly, our ally controls one of them. We'll have to see if Austria beats up on Cologne. Our next mission will be to try to get Cologne's vote if that option is available. Okay. 90% still. We still haven't gotten rid of all that war exhaustion. We might be able to eliminate these rebels. So we know that we could have 19, 21, 23 even without this guy, so we might as well hire some more. And for now, we don't need to pay this fort. McClellan vote for us, sounds good. So try to get that vote. So we could proclaim a guarantee on them. I'm not sure that we want to do that. Ick. 8% inflation. It's not good for our economy. Okay, so we got our diplomatic reputation up. Become emperor, that's a long shot. Now this is back down to 0.4. And we haven't even got rid of all of our war exhaustion. Let's top off our relations with our allies, and then we'll start planning out another war. So Oldenburg would be pretty good here. Saxe-Lauenburg would protect him, and Brandenburg would. Brandenburg is always a beast. They've been beaten up, so they have negative prestige. Bremen's a free city and in a trade league, so we're leaving them alone. Hamburg lost their free city status and had to leave the trade league because they expanded. Cologn's gonna have some problems. I think they're already angering people. Looks like they're not in coalition range quite yet, though. They're gonna have to play it a little safer than they've been doing. Okay, so we no longer have a truce with Oldenburg. And in 1 month, these rebels are going to go away. So why don't we move to the border here? And we're going to have to send them an insult. And it's still be willing to be our friends after that. But we're going to declare war on them. We're going to take it for ourselves. Okay, crush their army. The other two between them have 10,000 men, so we've got double that. Even with the Prussian troops that Brandenburg has, We should have this in the bag, particularly since we have moderate prestige and they have negative prestige. So our goal, if we can get over there, will be to isolate Saxe-Lauenburg and wait for the opportunity to beat them up in a later war. I saw some red here. Those could be rebels, but it might be one of our enemies trying to get through. Okay, so that lowered our diplomatic reputation. It's going to hurt our economy. But we can add all this stuff in. To estates. And the clergy wants some land. I'm comfortable with them getting it, so how about this, clergy? The nobility wants something. And one of these, this one, is really good manpower, so that's going to the nobility. We could give them the fort, but I'm not sure that we're even going to keep that. No, we're not. I'm going to give that to the clergy for the high base tax. Really? You're still not happy? Yes, I'll give the clergy that. And they're still not happy. Let's give them a little bit more influence, get that up so we can get free stability sometime soon. So that's going to tick downward, but I think we're just going to wait till we have this in our country and hand that off to the clergy. I just don't see anything else we could give them that would work for us. I'm trying to decide what religion we should be. Thinking probably staying Catholic, but I do like Reformed quite a bit. And even Protestant might be good, so we'll just see what happens with events. Okay, we could ask for access. Clone is our ally, so we might as well have military access to their territory. Oh, we can now get through to here and crush Brandenburg's army. Where are your silly Prussian troops now? I'll mock them for the present until they mop the floor with us later in the game. But this will be our moment to shine. I would love to vassalize them, we just can't handle the aggressive expansion if we do that. There's just so much stuff we could feed them back. That's annoying, as I do want to integrate in. They're losing this pretty quickly. Brandenburg, can we get you out of this war? I'd like to get you out of this war. Yeah, we just take their money. Just their money's fine. let's see if we could piece them out. Not quite. Okay. How about Hamburg? They give us melter access. Let's chase them around. Okay. So we crush their army. Okay, we don't need military access any longer. No use paying for that. So let's see about Saxe-Lauenburg. They might be willing to just peace out pretty soon. Protestant Reformation in Ravensburg. And let's improve relations with Austria. They're a little upset that we annexed a member of the HRE. Seriously considering putting our focus on it. Admin. Can't come up with any good reasons why not, so we're going to do it. Okay, no point in trying to get them out early. We're going to be able to take their capital here. And then, so you could have gotten out for nothing. Now we're taking your money, and now we're getting your war reparations, and you're not allowed to have any friends. Sit in the corner and think about what you've done. Okay, no coalitions, very little aggressive expansion. Hopefully Austria won't demand this back. Okay, once we have this cord, I'm going to give it to the clergy. Verdun would be a good next target. And no one that we want to rival. Let's get these guys into Friesland. There's a fort there. Make another 2 troops. That's because of this guy. And we can call this guy back. He's not needed. We'll get a little bit better relations with the Pope for papal influence purposes. Okay, so we could get all of these bonuses, worsen prestige. We'll get all those bonuses. Okay, we can take this territory. I really want them to stop being a free city. Okay, now we're ahead of time. That'll keep our corruption low. And this is going to tick back up to 48, so it's not a big concern. We've got some war exhaustion. Still haven't been able to get rid of. But yeah, we're growing to be a pretty big country. Let's take a look at how long this video has been going on. Just under 2 hours. So another 10 minutes or so, and I think I'll take a break. Eat some food. I'm going to fabricate a claim on Hoya, which would be a great one because then we could release Brunswick and feed them back these territories. We would have to fight Bohemia and Saxony, and I'm generally of the opinion that Bohemia is a pretty tough opponent. Saxony often underperforms. Their ideas are slightly worse militarily than the Germanic generic ones. Okay, so this can be added into an estate. Sorry, added to a state. Then we could give it to an estate. And we're going to do that with our clergy. And now they're happy with this again. We accept Westphalian. And we're nearly to the point of having a second reform passed. If we could add any territory into the empire to make that happen, I would do it, but the best chance we're going to get is when I integrate in East Frisia. Okay, this we don't really want to do. Let's develop just a little. And now we get new options. Basically, we can rival our allies. That's not going to happen. Let's go ahead and just invest in our economy a little bit. Nations with the Pope sure have suffered. Okay, we're going to take that and give monopoly charters. That gets us up to 70 here, which makes it quite dangerous, but that's okay. We'll get this and be ahead of time. Help us control corruption even better. And Sweden could be a pain at any point. Let's see, December of this year. Okay, so let's go back to improving relations with the Pope. Then we'll top off our relations with our 3 allies. And then worry about, well, I guess we can forget about that idea of improving relations with the Pope. Oh, you British Navy. You think you got what it takes. Okay, so let's top off relations with France here. And we just got some favors with them. Well, we will. We got 30% of the war participation. And we're staying in port. We'll have to hit that Irish Navy, whatever it is, Ulster. Unfortunately, our fleet is fast, so we're going to try getting out of here. Nope, that's not going to happen. That was a bad decision. Holy, we lost 12 ships. It's 4, 5, 6. So we need to make another 6 after that. Okay, that wasn't good. So I still need 5 more after this. Okay, we could anger the Pope. I think, well, let's see how much influence. 64. I think we're gonna go for this. I get that war exhaustion down now. Okay, Pomerania's pretty weak, relatively, and they're caught up in another war. So I think we can afford to fabricate this claim. Pull this guy back. We'll have to wait a month, so we might as well improve relations with Austria. Yeah, I shouldn't have got cocky with our navy. But we've got enough points. We could just raise war taxes and help get navy more quickly. Okay, let's start our engines. Pomerania would not come in, so we're going to go for Hoya here. Just going to leave 2,000 guys and get up here to their capital. They only have 5,000 troops. If they take this bait, we'll just bring down troops to reinforce. Okay, better relations over time, definitely. Let's actually just send some guys down here to loot. Now that doesn't make any sense. Let's send these guys down to loot and leave 4 units behind. 4 infantry, 4 cavalry. Okay, England, you made your point. You made your point. 55 ducats from Scotland, we appreciate that. Now we only make 2 more ships. So we're making 9, so we'll be at 17, 18. And if we can get over here, yes. Would love to hit these ships. See if we can hit these. This is dangerous, because, yeah, really dangerous. Crap. I'm gonna lose all those ships. Again. Oh, man. Okay, I need to stop doing that. Really need to be careful with our fleet. But it is war participation, so that will get us favors with France. Sure. 3 big ships. We don't have enough to be able to hit them and kill them. So we kind of threw away our fleet. Twice. Okay, we should improve relations with some neighboring countries just to keep them out of the coalition in case of the worst. They're trying to get some troops down here into East Frisia. So this guy doesn't have a general, but that's fine. We'll still wreck him. Okay, come here, kitty. Okay, 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. One of the cats was bullying the other one, so I had to threaten the cat. And then one threatened to drop kick a cat on the recording. So I'll just make a reference to it. And you have to wonder if I'm being serious. Okay, income from vassals, that really doesn't matter. I've heard of people using exploits in the past to make a lot of money off of vassals, but I've never seen it work well. Oh, God. We can't lose 15 admin. "15 Army and Navy tradition? No way. We have to do this top one. Oh, crap, the burgers. "90%. Yeah, we'll have to do something about that. That looks like in 26, okay, 10 years, yeah, we might have the burgers take control of our country. Okay, we have room for 8 more ships, so we'll just start making them. improve relations with Hamburg for the moment. Okay, let's sign this peace deal. They wouldn't quite do it because of this other stuff that they're occupying, but I think we could encourage them to change their minds in that regard. Okay, we're ahead of time here for now, but I do want to get this up so that we can start working on the military idea. Okay, 25 ducats for Desmond, that's welcome. So we can still make 6 more, 5 more, 4 more. 4 more ships. Okay, now they've accepted the inevitable. We're just going to sign it. This one we're going to release as a vassal, so that's not a problem. This one we do have to core. We're definitely not giving this land to our burghers. Is 15 legitimacy or anger and nobility? I have no way to get more support from nobility, so goodbye legitimacy. Free stability, I welcome it. And we do want to improve relations with Lubeck. I think Hamburg is another one, but we're already doing that. Okay, so 4 more ships. We get 3 more, 2 more. One more ship. I don't think I want to do this actually. Because our next idea is going to be a military one. So once this ahead of time penalty goes away at the end of the year, we'll tech up. Okay, the English Navy is pretty busy, so we're going to move all of these ships together. They're still engaged. No, they're not. I was going to hit these ships, but would never be able to wipe them out in time. Okay, Hamburg, we topped off relations there. They're no longer as upset. Not sure who the other one was. Pomerania actually kind of likes us, so let's improve relations there. Okay, and try to open off some troops. Dare you. Double dog dare you. we need to improve relations with Austria once we get one of these guys back. Okay, so Denmark. Do this once again. Hopefully somebody will send us some cash. So we're in a tough spot financially. We could march over here, so why don't we do that? Swedish troops. These are the Swedish troops I've been hearing so much about. Get off my land. It's my allies' land, but still. Okay, we can't afford a new natural scientist, unfortunately. Okay, France took Provence. That's a decent amount of aggressive expansion. Savoy took some other stuff. Yeah, we're not going to be able to deal with this in time. We could pull some territory from, but not enough. To pull 10 influence worth, and that would just make them disloyal. Well, what would it look like if we pulled this? Influence by 1%. Influence by 2%. Yeah, it's not enough to make a difference. We're going to get into that disaster, which would be kind of exciting. I don't think I've ever been in a disaster where the burghers have taken over. Ooh, minus 10% morale of armies. Yeah, I don't welcome that. I said it'd be exciting. It is not going to be exciting. I take it back. Everything I said was a lie. I take it back. I recant. At least we'll have a substantial trade fleet again after this. And Austria's expanded into Augsburg. And down here, Verona and Treviso. They didn't take Istria. Hungary got beat up even further. It's a one province minor. It'd be great to vassalize, then we could feed them back all this stuff. And it's kind of nice that there's a weak or a powerful Wallachia here, because they, I don't think, will age very well. But they do have espionage, which does mean that they're sons of bitches. I like to limit the cussing I do on this channel, but when it comes to espionage, there's an appropriate level of insult that needs to be flung around. One of those idea groups that doesn't do you much good to have, in most cases, except for multiplayer maybe, but it's really annoying when your enemies have it. Okay, so we're going to take this, we get a new group of ideas. Clone vote for sure. I don't think we want that. Missionary strength. Sure. And now we'd better go for quantity, because a bigger army is a better army. I'd love to get diplomatic ideas next. So we have influence. That'll let us take more. Something like religious or humanist might be what we end up doing. It all depends. Actually, let's leave this guy there until the end of the year. Just so that our relations don't degrade. Okay, this is being handed over to Denmark, and we'll let Denmark deal with their own rebels. I guess we could have sat here and got some of those men back in the garrison. Oh, Sweden's built up a respectable army, and that's a big problem for us because we've got that. Yeah, we can pay that off. Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to get their influence. Curtail. Might be a big decision. Curtail the burghers. We need their influence under 60. And we lose 3 stability. Wow. That's ugly. And we lose some development as well. Pausing a second, we're 2 hours 16 minutes in. But we're just going to hold the course. Okay, their navies are all going over here to deal with that challenge. But they should be right back. Maybe not. Okay, most of our fleet is together. We got this ship up here. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to facing these troops. I keep hoping for a plus morale guy. Bremen, yeah. Bremen may have. Military access, not a problem. Okay, so when are we going to be able to curtail this? We need them to have their influence be 60 or less. There's 2 development. Yeah, that's a pain. Okay, so in 26, in 7 years, they're going to lose 20 of that, so they'll be at 70. And then we're going to have to wait another 15 years from now to have it naturally drop. So hopefully we'll have an event that makes it drop 10. Otherwise we're going to be stuck in this long period. Oh, who's that? Why were they getting upset? Let's get that up. In favor every 3 years. We'll only increase that if we really need to. So they took back this fort, and we have made 0 progress. On the other forts. Let's get a fleet over there to help out. At this rate, they'll capture Skåne before we capture Stockholm. Might as well repair this fleet, because they have greater numbers, and they've got a bunch of galleys. It can't be really dangerous here. Okay, who is that? Austria. Austria, really? We have to increase their trust in us. And top off relations. I thought it was going to be France. Yeah, they're capturing Skåne, unless Denmark can do something about it. As long as their fleets are separate, we could hit them and inflict some damage. They really should have reinforced there. That was dumb. You should have let them try crossing. Okay, so Stockholm at least is ours. Send that over to Denmark, and let's engage them here. This could be a really bad idea. They've got a little bit lower morale than normal. Just hope that the dice are with us. They were. Okay, let's chase them, see if we can wipe them out, because that would end this war. Oh, Norway's disloyal too. You scurvy dogs. Gain instability. That's good, because we're going to be losing some when we try to curtail our state. Okay, so at least we have the Norwegians trapped in here. And we'll repair in our Stockholm that we've captured. Take that paradox. Top off relations here and with Austria, because Austria's getting pissy with us. Really, guys? We're doing this again. Okay, so Denmark owes us a bunch of favors. We'll cash in 5 of them. And now we are going to put Bohemia's rival. And let's release Brunswick. They are Protestant, we can't do much about that. Okay, but at least we don't have any illegal territory. Okay, what does Bohemia have going on for them? I'm really reluctant to battle Bohemia. 27,000 troops. Yeah, when we've got that minus 10% morale, we can't challenge Bohemia. Clergy gains 10 influence. In an event that takes influence from our burghers. And now we can get these ships out there again. That will be nice. Start making some money. Where to annex them? They're not a member of the HRA unless they... Yeah. No one added that province in, unfortunately. So that shouldn't upset anyone except for our other vassal. We'll decrease our diplomatic reputation, and that's certainly not ideal. So I'm half tempted to hand this off. Really? They'll start threatening it again because now our diplomatic reputation dropped. I'm gonna go for discipline guy. Whoa, we are way over our force limit. Oh, that's because of the disaster we have. Wow, that's rough. Force limit reduced by 25%. Yeah, that's ugly. I'm going to leave a guy here just so that the relations don't suffer at the turn of the year. Clergy wants more land. We can give them this. We can give them that. Sadly, these reforms are going to fail and they're going to lose all of this imperial authority. So no point in adding East Frisia to the empire quite yet. We could give this to our merchant guilds, but we're not going to. Okay, let's give this to the clergy to reduce the unrest. I don't know what's going on here. Is that Aachen taking this territory? Yeah, let's fabricate a claim on them. Whoa, they got 95 because we have a center trade. That'll make it even harder to get rid of this. Yeah, and that's just going to continue tanking our economy. Not good. Not good at all. I think I'm going to keep this video going until we can figure out a solution to that problem. Sorry, stretching and yawning. So, what's going to be our solution? Yeah, we might have to wait till another 14 years until 1536 for all of those temporary modifiers to disappear. That's not a very good solution, Kitty, but thank you for your input. I lose diplo points because we're gonna have to suffer some stability hits. Yeah. No. Yeah, I wish I was paying closer attention and I took that hit to our army and naval tradition. We could have managed that. Okay, so Cleves, it's just a duchy. They're still free city. Let's get our claim here. Mainz has the alliance with Bohemia. Not much we could do about that. Really, Austria? Can I do this again? Just gonna keep doing this. And even if we pulled everything in our country from the merchant guilds, burghers, we wouldn't be able to get that influence down low enough. I'm just gonna leave a guy there. Actually, that doesn't make sense. Hoping that Austria declares war on Bohemia or something. Okay, for the good of our economy, I'm going to take these guys and consolidate them down. We can make new troops. Once we deal with our disaster, that saves us 4 ducats a month. Lowered unrest, greater manpower recovery, that'll be nice. How do we to keep improving relations with Brunswick? Because they're a different religion. Okay, so we will be angering Denmark and Brunswick. Yeah. We have to do that. Sorry, Denmark. Well, I mean, we got 60 trust with them. Sure, we're allied to their rival, but is it really that critical of an issue? Okay, fabricate claim there. If we wanted more reforms passed, we could force Cleves to become Catholic. And they've got a core here that we could feed them back. Yeah, I'm starting to have a notion here. Lose the prestige. Okay, lost our artist, that's fine. This guy, land force limit modifier would be nice. I just basically can't do anything to increase the burgers. I might even be tempted to hand off a center of trade. What's our center of trade? I guess it must be this coastal one. So we've had that all along. Yeah, we can't get rid of that. We're not heavily in debt. We could pay this off. Now Austria's going to threaten to break our alliance again. Hey, nobility, why don't you take some influence from the burghers? You know what? We could get that low trade income if we need to tank their influence. We could just pull our ships back into port. Obviously, we have more pressing concerns than that. Once these other modifiers start expiring, then we could try getting it down that last 5 points. Okay, who are we fabricating on? Oh, it's just residual spy power. Okay, Cologne's voting for us. That's nice. We have one of our rivals, Poland. So let's set them as friendly. We're going to top off relations here. Okay, so our tech is well ahead of time, so we're just going to get our next administrative idea. Lowered interest, that's really good for us right now. Okay, so out of this, what we want is we want them to give us all their money, become our vassal, switch back to Catholic. And give up their claim inside of our country. In case we are one slot over, let's improve relations with our ally here and continue it with our subject. Okay, so now we have two of Bohemia's allies that we love to attack. We pay off one of those loans, that's fine. Okay, so our interactions here are gone until we curtail this. Okay, now that's dropped down to 75. So we could get down to 70 if we tank our trade income. So we basically just need one more event to go our way to lower their influence. Denmark is attacking Scotland. It's really weird because they're trying to feed it something through Norway, I'm guessing. It's Norwegian claims. I guess it makes sense that Scotland's been supporting Swedish independence. It's just strange that they would be feeding Norway, and Norway's already disloyal. Okay, we have no unrest here, so let's actually start trying to make a little bit of money. Let's shut off our forts. I'm tempted to start paying down our inflation, but really not until we get caught up on these admin ideas. As tempting as it'd be so nice for our economy not to have any inflation. Okay. Paris is a center of Reformation. I'm thinking if France flips over to be reformed, we may want to do that as well. Okay, we'll get this up to date, get some more trade efficiency. Can't afford to upgrade those ships yet. So 34. Another 7 years unless we can get an event. Well, actually, I think it needs to be under 60. Does it have to be under 60, lower than 60? Yeah, so that's going to be a problem. Paid off our loan. We could start paying for our border forts now. Okay, well, we're getting that inflation down, like I said. I think we will get this quantity idea to reduce the regiment costs. Okay, so now we're going to start paying all of our forts except for this one. I don't think we really need to deal with that one. And we can pay our troops half wages. And we're still making respectable money. We can start planning out some new conquests. We can get some money there. Nothing else looks super good. I think our naval force summit is fine. Well, we could get 2 more. Okay, is there any opportunity? Okay, Magdeburg has no allies at the present time because their relationship, they flipped religions, I think. So we're going to start our engines here. We're just going for it. We can't wait for anything to change. Yeah, we could have gotten... Okay. Or we could have suffered fewer losses there by waiting until our morale was entirely recovered. I was just unwilling to take that risk and see them get, you know, somebody like Bohemia back as an ally. Okay, so low trade income. So hopefully we'll get some event. Oh, plus for general. This guy's got a siege pip, so he'll be useful for our purposes. And I don't think Anhalt has any other cores, Magdeburg doesn't, so I think just taking this from them will be enough for now. We can plan out some other war if we really need to. Become Emperor, not sure that that's going to happen. Very skeptical that that's going to happen. So we can't get any of those 4. Not yet. Denmark's having some serious problems. We're not going to be able to call them into any wars, so we might as well increase that trust. Let's increase that. Yeah, these pretenders are going to put a new dynasty on the throne in all likelihood. So that's back to Brunswick. We should have our cavalry in here. got a text. I needed to respond to it. Okay, back in it. Let me just double check, make sure this video is going right. We're just about 3 hours in, so I'm hoping in the next 10 minutes we can end this war and curtail our burgers. Okay, let's see if they would give up this territory. They would. It's only 2.5 aggressive expansion. And we could try taking some more stuff from them. I don't think we really need to. I don't accept that yet. I'm not sure it would really help us potentially diplomatically vassalize them. But we're getting what we want out of this, so let's just call that well enough. Our relations with France should be pretty strong. We'll top this off to get them up to 200. And then, well, Brunswick now likes us quite a bit more. So we still have... Okay, then they should really pass their... No, they can't pass their reform quite yet. We might be able to seize some of these votes. That candidate is not very good. The Austrian candidate. Well, let's go for it. Let's see what happens. Really need higher legitimacy if we're going to be competitive. And we could take out a papal legate. So we could get that vote. That'd be 2. Potentially we could try competing for those. Let's try for this one. I'd love to annex them. But in 31, this next subject should expire, and that will give us a bit more diplomatic power here. So we've got 2 of the votes. Is it Hoya? It's Brabant? No. What was our claim on Hoya? Took that specifically so we could give it away. Keep up, guys. Keep up, Mr. Computer. Okay, 4 years. So, if an event pops up that tanks their influence by 10, we could just pull some land from them. Single province, pass that policy, and then give the land right back. Okay, we're going to have to get caught up here in tech. We must always attack, always. But I think I do want to get our admin ideas ahead, because it'll make it easier for us to catch up. I'm not sure if everyone knows this, but anytime that you want to go for tech here, dependent on the number of ideas that you've completed, each one of these ideas gives you 2% reduction. So we've completed 5. So we've got a 10% discount to our administrative tech. So if we hold out and get these next 2, then this will be 4% cheaper. And of course, getting the last one will make it another 10, so it'll be 14% cheaper. So it sometimes does make sense to finish out ideas before you get caught up, if it's not going to cause you corruption or suffer any other problems. Now, being ahead of time gives bonuses to controlling corruption and helps your income. So there's something to be said for that as well. Okay, we're nearly back up to our limit. So we just need something to bring this down. See if we can get any more money. So that one, I guess, is kind of worth it. Now this is super great. This could save us money in the long run. Increase that force limit a little. Okay, so what's our next opportunity for expansion? Mainz is allying up. Bremen would be great to attack, but I think they're still free city. They are. But you're still free city. I'd like to remove Trier. I love rural marriage here, but it's almost certainly going to cost us legitimacy, and I don't want to do that when we're trying to get this throne. We have 3 votes, so we really don't want to screw it up. So once I've improved relations with all the electors, I'm going to work on the Pope again, just to increase this rate. I do need to get relations with Mainz up higher. Okay, I think the problem happened here that Austria is not very competitive because they have low legitimacy. Because they switched monarchies. And Maria Theresia is not eligible for the throne. So that's good for me. Okay, so we have 3 votes. Austria only has 1. Now Bohemia could end up stealing this other vote. They are friendly with Mainz. Strange, they're allied, but Mainz is more likely to vote for us at present. But we really should hedge our bets and get this diplomatic reputation. Okay, so now we're only 3 over land force limit. Okay, Protestant zealots. Not sure if I want to let them win. And I don't know if we'll get anything out of that. No, we didn't liberate their province, but still. I like to think that they respect us for what we did. Okay, Denmark. Do we have a royal marriage? We still do. You still have your unions. And Norway is loyal. See a little Gaeldom. And Denmark took over 2 provinces here. 3, and they kept them for themselves. Good for you, Denmark. Probably end up causing you problems in the long run, but I do admire your initiative. Okay, we'll let Aachen get all pissy with us. It doesn't matter. Okay, we really should be expanding. Thuringia would be a bad one to release. Würzburg wouldn't. So Austria, who are you fighting? And why? Okay, it's through alliance systems. Not really of interest to us. Okay, where's our opportunity for expansion? Can't really attack Mainz at the moment because we're trying to buddy up to them. We could integrate them soon. We just have to improve relations. That would make us less competitive for the throne, so we're not going to do that quite yet. We attack Hamburg. Got a decent number of allies, but I think that might be the next best bet. If Brandenburg gets reduced to 1 province minor, we're going to try vassalizing them diplomatically if possible. And then feeding them back their provinces. Okay. So Teutonic Order is a member of the Empire, so you have to protect them. We don't actually have to fight in this battle, in this war, as the Teutonic Order is a war leader, and any fighting we do would only give us favors with them, except for they're not our allies, so we can't accumulate them. So Austria called us in, but fighting the war won't give us any favors with them. Okay, next year we should be able to enact this decision. Oh. Why is this guy even protecting trade? So I'll beat up, I'm going to just modernize him. Yes, look at him fight. Okay, so that dropped. They're at 60. Then you get them under 60. So we need to strip something, pull something from them. Okay, burgers, what if we were to take this from you? Okay, we get to curtail the burghers, they don't like that. And then, for my next trick, I'm going to give this right back to the burghers. The Duke is back in control. I can give him more influence, but I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. It would be hilarious. We can get up to 70. Do I want to risk it? Yeah, I do. They're not happy with us, but they'll get their happiness back. I'm not happy with them. So it's mutual. So let's wait a month, see if we can make more troops. Okay, we can make 4 more troops. And Bohemia sent us money. Okay, but we're not going to try getting into a fight with Poland. We'll just defend our territory and our subjects. Denmark sent us money. Good. I like that. Anywhere that we can make any good buildings? Not that I can see. Oh, manpower right there. 1,100. We should actually pull this south. So our armies are adjacent to each other. That'll protect them a bit. So Austria is defending the empire, which unfortunately gives them some additional influence. So what I think I'll do is, after the war's over, they'll probably pass a reform. If not, I could add this in to give them a little bit more imperial authority, and then once they pass the reform, they should lose the election to us. Hire the engineer. I'd really like to. Let's pull these guys back. And wait another month, and we'll hire this engineer and increase our maintenance back up. I did that because I can see a lot of where the troops are, and I knew that the Poles were engaged over here. Okay, definitely do want to get a little bit more development here. Are we ahead of time? Not yet. So we'll wait till we're ahead of time. I do want to develop this place back up to 888 like it was eventually. These are going to tick back down next year, both down to 60, so we'll be okay. We definitely don't want to develop while our burghers are upset with us. Okay, so what's our next move going to be? If we're not going to be able to get this imperial throne, then we might as well start being aggressive. So it looked like the best target here was Hamburg. They're going to have 23,000. So that's a lot. plus anyone else that they could bring in. I'm not seeing Riga. Riga's pretty far away. 23, 31,000 between those three. So that's not an attractive target unless we call Denmark into the war. Okay, well, regardless, it's been 3 hours on this video, so I think we're going to save it. I need to get something to eat, and we've accomplished our goal of curtailing our burgers. I should have never let them get that powerful, but yeah, that's that. So I'm going to stop this video, and when we get back on the next one, we will plan out another war. So this has been another Let's Play of EU4 with RedBstrd as Brabant.